What is up, guys, and this is Techno, and I have another video for you today, and it is in regards to the new competitive update. Now, I'm sure you guys have all jumped in and had your fun with the new competitive system, played your 10 placement matches, and got told how bad you really are. But for those who don't know already about this new competitive matchmaking in Overwatch, it changes quite a lot of the attitude towards the game itself. I find personally that in competitive matches, people attempt to communicate with each other a lot more, which is great. I also found out the hard way that if you think you're any good at Overwatch, your placement matches will literally put you in your place. I like this competitive aspect of Overwatch, however you guys are probably already calling this clickbait, so I'll leave this discussion to later on. In the patch notes that were released with Overwatch 1.0.5.1, which I'm sure all of you read, there is a small section below called Miscellaneous, which details fixes or changes that don't fit in bug fixes or general updates. Hidden inside these 5 dot points is the phrase, when activating Widowmaker's ultimate ability Infrasight, a voice line will now be audible map-wide. Basically telling everyone that you all have war hacks. This may seem like a small tweak, but a very controversial one indeed in my opinion. Now, as a defensive sniper role, her ultimate ability works more like a support character, but nevertheless provides endless advantage to herself and her team. However, originally Widowmaker's ult would be very subtle, meaning she could only be heard by an enemy team if they were directly next to her or in close vicinity. Her ult voice was also sneaky, a French line that I won't even attempt to pronounce, that basically means no one can escape my eyes, or no one escapes my eyes. And so this change has indirectly nerfed Widowmaker as a whole, as I will explain now. Generally, when you see people through walls as a sniper, you target a spot outside of a building or cover the enemy character is travelling towards, and so effectively there is something called a pre-fire that occurs. Before the update, enemies would be generally unaware of themselves being tracked by ridiculous Infrasight technology, but now, when Widowmaker announces her war hacks to the world, unconsciously enemies will tend to stay behind or inside cover or buildings more, and generally playing more conservatively almost or until her ult is over. Generally in quick play this is not really an issue, but I'm talking about how it will affect the competitive community as a whole. Keep in mind that in this video I'm not taking a stance or attempting to convince a point of view, but merely pointing out how this will affect games. Widowmaker already has had her damage lowered, and so I get this vague feeling that her ultimate doesn't feel so ultimate. Now obviously a large part of the community have in the past called for her ultimate to be non-exclusive, and should also be heard map-wide as clearly seen by many Reddit threads and Battle.net forum discussions. Whilst researching this, I actually came across something quite interesting that several users on Reddit actually came up with, that I think Blizzard could potentially consider. Rather than having enemies directly alerted of Widowmaker's ult, their character would say something that would imply that maybe her ult would be up. I think this is a great way to balance out both sides, and some of the lines are actually pretty hilarious, like, "What you looking at, mate? Guess that comes from the fame. Sight is an illusion. Fancy a look, love? Staring is not polite. Witness greatness." So basically this is like when the characters just say these little phrases or words, and the players are there to guess whether, the Widowmaker's ult is up or not. It gives an implication. So credits to the Reddit community for being so creative. However, there are obviously some catches to implementing this. This being the drawback of voice actors and the general mess that would come with updating different voice lines for the characters of Overwatch, simply to fix a problem for one character. Finally, I really want to know what you guys think about this. Is it a good change in your opinion, or are you miffed because you main Widowmaker? By the way, I'm in the same boat. It would be tragic if they nerfed Junkrat because he's my wife. So leave a comment down below, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe because it really helps out the channel. Techno out.